I just want to say, I think sometimes we can put too much stock in our emotions. Like we override on our emotions. Like we take into account our emotions too much, and we don't put enough logic into it. I think that as important as how we feel is important, and like we gotta move with our heart is important. I think sometimes we just don't move with enough logic, right? I think sometimes, a lot of times, people just act on impulse without sitting back and just thinking about it, and just making sometimes logical decisions on certain things. And I think that since we're in the culture of everybody's feelings are valid, I just don't think every time your feelings are valid. Just because you got hurt sometimes, or somebody did you wrong, or certain things didn't go the way you wanted to go. I think we gotta look at it from a logic standpoint and consider all elements. Because I think, for me, like when I'm in an emotional state, I'm very selfish and narcissistic in my feeling of a certain situation, not looking at it from the big standpoint, not looking at it from like a huge standpoint. I think that when I take a step back and I look at it logically, then it kind of calms me down. I mean, it doesn't make me feel better, but it calms me down and means that, okay, logically this doesn't make sense. Logically, I need to take a step back and like really examine what's really going on, Because I think a lot of times I have act on impulse and I act on like how I felt, not realizing that it wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't that like huge of a thing. I should have just took a step back and realized that this wasn't really an issue. This wasn't something or a hill I should have died on, right? And that could be like relationships, that could be jobs, that can be just situations that came into play when you look at it from like a larger spectrum. You're like, I shouldn't have been tripping like that, And as I go on in my life and as I improve my life, it gets harder because, you just want things to go the way you want it to go. And life sometimes doesn't put you on the path on how you want things to go. It makes you go this way, that way, all over the place. And it's sometimes hard to be logical in a time where you're hyper emotional, and hyper fixated on these things. And that's another thing. I think we get hyper fixated on things and we ruminate on our insecurities that are caused by situations and caused by relationships and caused by things that bring up in us that make us very emotional. And I'm not saying that you gotta be a robot and be emotionless, but sometimes logic and reason and just faith and a little bit of grace infused in that can let you take a step back and realize, hey, I don't know everything. Hey, I don't have all the answers. Hey, this might not go the way out. And sometimes, man, just let it play out. I don't think we let things play out all the way through. I think we logically feelings-wise, that we want things to happen right now, happen the way we want it to happen. I want people to be miserable because I'm miserable. These things, that doesn't really bring us joy automatically. And I think the more and more we allow ourselves to just indulge in our feelings too much, we forget that we have a brain. We have thought, we have reason, we have wisdom. Because I think your heart can betray you in many ways. But that's just my thought.